Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bowtied Body Language channel. It's Owl, here to help you unlock the mind's secrets, both conscious and unconscious. Together, we'll master the art of body language for personal growth and success. And for more insights, tips, and discussions, don't forget to check out my Twitter at bowtied_owl. With that said, let's get into today's video analysis. In today's fast-paced world, it's not just what we say but how we say it that matters. This analysis dives deep into understanding the significance of gestures, particularly their height and what they reveal about a person's confidence and emotional state. By observing the non-verbal cues displayed by Pierre, Poilievre, and Justin Trudeau during a debate, we offer viewers a unique perspective on how gestures correlate with feelings. This isn't about political stances, but a fascinating exploration into the world of body language. By understanding these nuances, viewers can better read and interpret the silent signals we encounter in daily interactions, leading to more insightful and effective communication.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Right at the beginning, Poilievre's stance provides some key insights. A nice erect posture tells us he's carrying himself with confidence. Shoulders rolled back and head upright further solidify this perception. His hands positioned in front of the abdomen suggest some defensiveness or self-comforting. A low-pitched tone in his voice and a steady speech speed both contribute to his overall presentation. Now, as you watch Poilievre, I want you to watch two things: the energy behind his hand gestures and how high they go. These are two key features to watch for when trying to determine how confident a speaker is. A good rule of thumb is the higher these gestures, the more confidence they generally signify.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
The Prime Minister paused the paying of the carbon tax for only some people. The Liberal Rural Affairs Minister said, well, other people should have elected Liberal MPs if they wanted to be able to afford heating their home or feeding their kids. The Prime Minister has not denounced that viewpoint. In fact, he's doubling down on punishing people elsewhere. But Liberal MPs in Sudbury, Thunder Bay, North Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, they have starving constituents who are worried about the heat going out as well. Will they have a free vote on my motion to keep the heat on and take the tax off for everyone this Monday?
Hopefully you saw that Poilievre's hand gestures predominantly stayed around the abdomen to sternum area, and should give you some idea about his confidence levels. There are a few notable moments where his hands rise above chest level, particularly around his closing statements. One last significant observation is his comfortable posture. He always returns to a position where his hands or a single hand is clasped in front of his abdomen, and gestures, although subtly animated, stay within a neutral zone. Let's move on.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as a government...
Trudeau takes the stage in going through the same analysis we observe. A commendable erect posture, shoulders held back and head held high. Hands positioned in front of the suprapubic region, which isn't great. This is getting close to groin guarding, which is suboptimal and low confidence. Lastly, listen to his vocal intonation. You'll hear a distinctively higher pitched voice, but also in an elevated speech speed. Now, like we did with Poilievre, we want to watch two key features: the energy behind his hand gestures and how high they go.
Mr. Speaker, as a government, we're phasing out the use of coal because it's dirty and bad for the environment. We're now moving on phasing out home heating oil because it's dirtier, more expensive, and is disproportionately relied upon by lower-income Canadians who don't have other choices. Over 500,000 Ontarians, Mr. Speaker, heat their homes with home heating oil. This program and this approach will not just give them a break, but in working with the Government of Ontario, will deliver heat pumps for Canadians right across the country. I invite Saskatchewan to work with us as well. We need to get Canadians off home heating oil. That's what we're going to do.
So, hopefully you saw that Trudeau's hand gestures are noteworthy. Rising above the chest multiple times, they are paired with strong vocal emphasis. His hand positioning, similar to Poilievre's barrier-like stance, suggests a protective or self-comforting gesture. In terms of overall performance, Trudeau's hand gestures seem to have an edge over Poilievre. Poilievre, however, did a much better job with his intonation. Trudeau could have benefited from moderating his speech speed to avoid sounding breathless.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Enter round 2. Poilievre. Starting with his standard posture we saw earlier with hands primarily at the sternum level. This round, however, you will witness a significant change in his hand gestures. Again, we are watching for height and energy.
An answer like that, he's clearly not worth the cost, and he didn't answer the question as to whether or not his MPs would have a free vote, which begs the question whether his NDP MPs will get a free vote. The Saskatchewan NDP has just voted to endorse my motion to give equal tax-free heat for all Canadians. That is the position of the NDP in BC, Manitoba, and Alberta as well. Now the question is whether the NDP will vote against its cash-strapped constituents and in favor of the Prime Minister. So can the PM tell us, is this vote part of the coalition agreement, or does the NDP have the freedom to vote for their constituents?
Did you see the noticeable reduction in their vigor and height? This suggests a hint of reservation or diminishing confidence. Poilievre's gestures became less animated and predominantly stayed below the chest level, unlike his earlier performance. We just saw a shift in his mental state.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Now we watch Trudeau's performance, again watching for height and energy of his gestures.
Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition wants to talk about places across the country. Let's talk about them. 20,000 Saskatchewanians heat their homes with home heating oil. 50,000 Albertans and about 100,000 British Columbians, Mr. Speaker. That is dirty, it is more polluting, and it is more expensive, particularly for the predominantly lower income families that rely on this. That's why we're moving forward to replace them with heat pumps, working with the provinces to deliver free heat pumps for lower income families so that they can save money and fight pollution at the same time. This is about helping Canadians as we fight climate change, which the Leader of the Opposition has no plan for.
Trudeau seemed to have tapped into a reservoir of confidence. Trudeau's gestures and vocal modulation seemed to be in full swing, overshadowing Poilievre's more reserved demeanor. The majority of his gestures emanated confidence, stretching from the chest area and beyond, portraying a sense of command over the subject and the stage. The expansiveness of Trudeau's gestures, paired with his assertive vocal modulation, conveyed an air of authority, suggesting he was not only comfortable with the topic at hand, but also eager to assert his viewpoint. It's worth noting that in debates, such nonverbal shifts can be the result of multiple factors: the content of the debate, the reactions of the audience, or even personal internal dialogues. The second round in particular showcased how body language nuances can significantly influence audience perceptions, irrespective of the spoken content. My conclusions. The first round felt evenly matched, but Poilievre might have a slight advantage in terms of nonverbal cues. His vocal delivery felt more composed, his posture slightly more confident, and his gestures more measured. By the second round, Trudeau's confidence seemed to surge. This was evident in Poilievre's subdued hand gestures and vocal delivery. In contrast, Trudeau's speech was assertive, and his gestures broad and impactful. Want to learn more about body language? Don't forget to like, share, and follow for more content like this. Be sure to download your free copy of Read the Room using the link in my bio. It's a comprehensive guide to understanding nonverbal communication. Applying this knowledge will revolutionize your personal and professional relationships.